We'll start again. Good morning, distinguished participants, esteemed colleagues, and honored guests. It is with immense pleasure and gratitude that I welcome you to this important session titled Exploring Preferred Governance Functionality for Addressing Desertification and Developing Strategies that Effectively Integrate Local, Regional, and International Efforts to Mitigate the Impact of Desertification. I'm Dr. Renuka Thakur, the founder and CEO of Global Sustainable Futures Network, CIC. I'm a strong advocate for sustainable development collaborative solutions. My work bridges local and global efforts to address pressing environmental challenges, driving transformative change through innovation, partnership, and governance strategies. GSFN is a global community network platform that uniquely advocates and delivers low carbon, climate resilience projects and sustainable development programs. GSFN is nurtured through a collaboration mindset and shared knowledge. Around 8,000 individual experts worldwide have joined to develop interdependent leadership model here, where they display proactive accountability, take self-leadership, experience coach-like engagement, showcase people leadership and team leadership, and grow transformative innovation, creating cultural leadership. For the last 4 years, GSFN chairs have provided technical expertise to help communities enhance climate education, adaptation, and mitigation capacities by devising events and projects with a more significant impact. GSFN provides multidisciplinary and cross-sectional carbon emission assessments, develops strategies, and formulates projects to offer long-lasting solutions to the environment and communities across the Global South. It strives to connect more people with the complex social, technical, financial, political, and economic interactions that affect real-world projects. We have strong relationship across the education and agriculture industries. Communities trust us to design their projects, from students to farmers, including small and medium enterprises. To complement our community work, we provide international training, capacity building courses, and research consultancy for private and public sector institutions, and further, global skills and understanding to international climate crisis and how to manage through the Global South Summits monthly online. GSFN is a proud global community working for the climate change and sustainable development goals. So today we gather here not to discuss only challenges, but to ignite transformative strategies to combat one of our time's most pressing global issues, desertification. Desertification is more than a physical or environmental challenge. It is a multifaceted issue affecting livelihoods, ecosystems, and economics. As we stand at the crossroads of escalating environmental crises, the need for robust governance framework has never been so urgent. Our session aims to bridge the gaps in understanding governance challenges through the lens of governance modes, governance capabilities, and their role in addressing societal failures. By employing innovative tools like causal layer analysis and exploring governance drivers for change, we strive to build tailored solutions that integrate local, regional, and global efforts. This event, spearheaded by the co-chair of this session, James Balzer, also our GSFN coordinator from Australia, and an in-person attendee at COP16, represents a significant step forward. It is a testament to power of collaboration and the shared vision of creating sustainable futures that GSFN shares as a worldwide network. In this session, you can expect showcasing case studies to gain insights from diverse examples of governance models effectively addressing desertification, identifying expertise needs, highlighting the critical resources and capabilities required by government agency to address this challenge, introducing strategic foresight with tools like causal layers analysis. We will dwell into innovative ways of preparing for and mitigating desertification and strengthening network and capabilities. This discussion will foster stakeholder and collaboration, enhancing agility and impact in addressing desertification's multifaceted challenges. Additionally, we will dwell into topics such as multilateral cooperation, a unified solution to combat land degradation, good governance, a multilateral solution for land degradation and beyond, and the role of blockchain and artificial intelligence in combating desertification. Our discussion will also explore the roles of reward and punishment, which underpin governance modes, and how policies are designed to overcome societal failures. Together, we will examine how different governance approaches can align to meet the unique challenges posed by desertification. This discussion is not just about identifying challenges, it is about paving pathways for solutions that are inclusive, innovative, and grounded in collective action. Your active participation will enrich this discussion and inspire actionable outcomes. Your voices, perspectives, and expertise are the keystones to shaping effective governance frameworks and fostering meaningful change. So let us seize this moment to deepen our understanding, strengthen our networks, and creating collaborative strategies to address desertification. Together, we can not only mitigate its adverse impacts, but also create resilient and sustainable systems that ensure a thriving future for all. Thank you for being here and for unwavering commitment to building sustainable futures. Let's embark on this journey and exploration and innovation together. So today we have the guest of honor, Dr. Amal Aldaij. She is an International Affairs Senior Advisor at the National Center for Vegetation Cover Development and Combating Desertification, NCVC, of Saudi Arabia. She previously worked with the United Nations Environment Programme, UNEP, and UNESCO, and in the field of diplomacy and international treaties. Dr. Aldaij has led several environmental awareness projects and initiatives promoting sustainable development. She also serves as the national focal point for the United Nations Forum on Forest, UNFF. Today's special guest is Dr. Subi Misra. She is a research and innovation consultant, National Center for Vegetation Cover Development and Combating Desertification, NCVC. Dr. Subi Misra, a multidisciplinary expert in critical geopolitics and global sustainability, has presented her work at leading global universities and international platforms. She has held teaching roles at the University of Delhi and Vienna, worked with the world's leading think tank, International Institution of Applied Systems Analysis, Austria, and now drives research initiatives at NCVC's Department of Research and Innovation. Our esteemed keynote speaker today is Professor Haitham Askar. He is joining us online. He is climate change and environmental engineering expert with decades of experience. Professor Haitham is an executive board director at the Blockchain and Climate Institution, a visiting professor at 3 universities, and a contributor within ISO Technical Committee 207 and SC 7 Working Group 18 Net Zero. Professor Haida Maskar also serves in 3 APPG, that is across parties parliamentary groups, and is an advisor to Iraq's High Commission of Carbon Economics within the Iraqi Prime Minister Office. After scratching the surface of these critical governance challenges, let me also dwell into talking about our esteemed panelist. So today we will have our co-chair and the panelist, Mr. James Balzer. He is the Vice President of the Board at the Power for Change institution and has served in numerous positions in sustainability policy in Australian federal and state governments. He leads the School of International Futures Working Group on Intergenerational Fairness in Cities and recently completed the Next Generation Foresight Practitioners NGP-FP Fellowship. He's also a World Economic Forum Global Shaper and has previously served in the roles at UNESCO and UN Habitat. Joining online, we have panelist Dr. Saida Meherunisa, and she is the assistant professor in the Department of Business and Administration, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and holds 10 years of teaching experience in various subjects, such as management, HRM, business ethics, and marketing. Her current research interests are work-life balance, leadership, women empowerment, and green HRM. She actively participates in community services, conducts workshops in schools, and encourages undergraduate students to participate in the workshops and seminars as a part of community services. She has mentored a wide range of undergraduate student projects linked with the SDGs. Also, she has published articles in the field of management in scientific journals. Our other speaker, panelist, is Dr. Shyam Kumar Kata. He will join us later. He is humanitarian laureate and rural economist. Professor Shyam Kumar Kata is director of programs at Haifa International, a globally recognized expert in biodiversity, sustainable supply chains, climate smart agriculture, and rural development. With 21 plus years of experience, he has worked with 2 million households, led 23 transformative projects, mobilized $112 million investment, and partnered with 98 corporates and 650 plus NGOs to advance global food security and environmental sustainability. Last but not least, we have panelist Dr. Pallavi Saxena, and she is assistant professor in the Department of Environmental Science, Hindu College, University of Delhi, India. She serves as SCC member in ILIPS and GEIA. Her interests are air pollution, nature-based solution, and sustainability indicators, and she has published 60 publications. Dr. Saxena has been selected as lead author in the UNEP report and authored an independent expert report on climate change and biodiversity for the European Commission in 2024. Dr. Saxena has been selected as an expert member in various international meetings and forums like Stockholm Plus 50, COP28, COP29, IBIS 9 and 10, and KCI 2022. So here we are, and now I will invite Dr. Amal Aldej to present her speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rika. And thank you for this important discussion and for the invitation. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Good morning. As you know, land degradation is a very critical global challenge impacting our environment, food security, biodiversity, and livelihoods. Addressing this issue requires multilateral cooperation, as no single nation can tackle it alone. Saudi Arabia is committed to leading this effort through the Saudi Green Initiative and the Middle East Green Initiative. These initiatives aim to restore millions of hectares of degraded land and plant billions of trees, aligning with the global frameworks and, of course, the Sustainable Development Goals. The international community, including the UNCCD, plays a critical role in ensuring a sustainable global collaborations and partnerships, knowledge sharing, and innovative financing mechanisms. This year's COP16 in Riyadh offers a pivotal opportunity to advance these efforts and align them with the global frameworks. By working together, we can mobilize resources, share knowledge, and important technologies to reverse land degradation. Saudi Arabia stands ready to collaborate with all nations to restore ecosystems, empower communities, and create a sustainable future for of course, benefiting of our plants and future generations. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for your special remarks. And now I will invite our special speaker, Dr. Shubhi, please.
Thank you, Dr. Khantu, for inviting me. Thank you, James, for sharing this session. Am I audible now?
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Thakur and James, for being the chairs and organizing this session. Good morning, everyone. Every year, we lose around 12 million hectares of productive land to desertification, and that's an area the size of Bulgaria alone. Imagine this happening year after year, pushing millions into poverty, forcing migration, and fueling conflict over dwindling resources. The question isn't whether we can solve this alone. It's clear we can't. The question is, how do we work together effectively? Today, I want to show you why the answer lies in good governance and multilateral actions. Environmental issues like desertifications are global by nature. They cross borders, disrupt ecosystems, and affect communities regardless of their national boundaries. No single country can tackle them alone. That's why multilateral cooperation through international frameworks and agreements is crucial. It's the only way to align efforts, pool resources, and address these challenges at large scale. But even the best global plans can fail without good governance. What does that mean? There are 3 pillars of good governance. It's about transparency, which is ensuring everyone knows what's happening and why is it happening. It's about accountability, which is making sure that commitments turn into actions. And it's about inclusivity, which includes that, or it ensures that all voices, especially those most affected, are heard and included. These principles create the trust, structure necessary for successful international collaboration. We already have powerful tools at our disposal. The United Nations Conventions on Desertification, Climate Change, and Biodiversity provides a roadmap for action. And through initiatives like Great Green Wall, a collaboration of over 20 African nations, we are seeing how multilateral efforts can restore land degradation, improve livelihoods, and combat desertification at a massive scale. For these initiatives to succeed, good governance must guide their implementation. Take the Green Climate Fund, for example. It ensures that financial resources are distributed transparently and effectively, supporting countries in their fight against land degradation. This kind of sound management ensures that every dollar spent brings real measurable change. But global frameworks alone aren't enough. Good governance also means empowering local communities. For example, in Kenya, community-driven restoration projects have transformed degraded lands. These initiatives succeed because they combine local knowledge with global support, providing that governance works best when it bridges the gap between global and the local. Land degradation is more than an environmental crisis. It's a challenge that threatens our collective future. But here's the good news. We have the tools at our disposal, the frameworks and the knowledge to turn the tide. What we need now is the will to act together. I think most of you must have been present yesterday when the Riyadh Action Agenda was launched under the presidency of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So this included 3 basic actions, and these actions were about land restoration, drought and water resilience, and agri-food systems. And there were 3 enablers. And along with finances and science, technology, and innovation, the most important enabler yesterday, which was launched, was about governance. And good governance is the key here. Good governance isn't just a technical term. It's the key to unlocking real lasting change. We can transform the degraded lands into thriving ecosystems, vulnerable communities into resilient ones, and global challenges into shared victories. So the real question is, how will we choose to govern our planet's future? And the answer lies in a collective commitment to act starting today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. You have mentioned multilateral cooperation is vital for combating the desertification, and I'm sure everyone would agree, and therefore ensuring accountability, inclusivity, and empowering local communities. So certainly prioritization is needed about amplifying the voices of those most affected and creating equitable and sustainable solutions. So thank you very much. I will now invite our keynote speaker, Professor Haitham, to present his speech. Thank you very much. Should I share your PowerPoint, or would you like to share?
If you can, I'll start with a couple of minutes of speech, and then we can switch to the PowerPoint, please.
We can't hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes, now we can hear you.
Right, okay, thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished expert and colleagues and attendees. Assalamu alaikum. It's a privilege to speak to you today about desertification, a crisis that threatens the very nature of the...
Sorry, do you want me to share your PowerPoint?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay, yes, I will do that 1 second, and I will let you know it's ready.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes.
It's a yeah, thank you. I'll just speak a couple of minutes and then we'll go to the presentation, please. It's a privilege to speak to you today about desertification, crisis that threatens the very foundation of 3 continents, and with Asia, the MENA region and Southeast Asia. And the future of the region itself is at stake. Our region is already one of the driest on Earth, accelerating land degradation, deepening vulnerabilities, jeopardizing food security, and straining water resources for millions. Desertification doesn't respect borders, its impact and across countries, sandstorms, water shortages, and degradation as shared burdens that demand shared solutions. No nation can solve this alone, and regional cooperation is not just beneficial, it's essential. Governments must lead on cross-border agreement in sustainable water use, land of use, and restoration, and other topics. Technology, particularly artificial intelligence, is a game changer. Now, analyzing climate, soil, and vegetation data, artificial intelligence can forecast risks and optimize interventions, giving us tools to act preemptively, coupled with satellite imaging and regional collaboration. The MENA reports are the MENA region's challenges are immense and solvable. Together, we can decide actions and improvements, and we can combat desertification and secure a sustainable future for our communities. Can I get the presentation, please?
Yes.
It's just going to be 3 minutes. It's going to be
Yeah,
very
no
quickly.
worries.
Yes. So we talk about the artificial intelligence, the role of blockchain and artificial intelligence in combating desertification. Can I have the second?
1 second, because we can't see the screen, so I'm just trying to adjust it. 1 second, please.
Take your time. Yeah.
No, it is here. Um, um, yes, probably we will have to see this way today. Sorry. Something
Okay.
is wrong here,
Right.
but hopefully this is okay. Let us move to the second slide.
Yeah, second slide. I mean,
Yes.
desertification is not just climatic related, it's a political issue, and it's also a socioeconomic case and environmental, as we already know. There is quite a lot of challenges between countries because of migration cross countries, because of dispute over water resources. From a socioeconomic case, it does impact agriculture sector. It does even drive for across cities type of migration from arable land to urban areas, and it caused a lot of issues with crops and other things. Can I have the other one, please? The third one, yes. Now, desertification is a process instigated by climate change, but also by man-made impacts through long-term action misuse. To be able to understand desertification, we have to understand the trends, turning points, and a better assessment for global arid land changes across the globe. Can I have the third one, please? Now, integrated intelligent platform, we have to use different type of inputs and different type of, I would use the word, variables. That would include governance, that would include data. The blockchain and intelligent platforms be able to assimilate all that data and start making models. And the more data we put along the time, I suppose, over years, we'll be able to because we're using machine learning, we'll be able to get better decision-making process along the way. Can I have the fourth one, please? Yeah, so we're looking at the regional, localized meteorological data, satellite imaging, GIS, drones, data capture, quantification of fauna and green cover, population and freeland data, data of industry, agriculture, human activities, geological data, infrastructure information. Example, the countries with oil producing, we have to double check the piping, all the things that location of refineries, regional planning and land use pattern, register of project and program that would be able to counterbalance the impact of desertification. Can I go to the fourth one, please? Right. As a platform for blockchain and artificial intelligence with a lot of hardware like satellite imaging, GIS data, drones, or specific events calculation. Also, we use eddy towers. They'll be able to give us a microclimate assessment of a specific areas to draw to give us scenarios of performance across time. And that would be fed into a blockchain. Yeah, just suppress it so we can get the other parts of the picture, please. So we can get the blockchain that would give us a tokenization of impact relevant to emissions claims, and that would give us even potential to claim for carbon credits and sustainable finance, as with the loss of damage fund that's been launched back in COP28 in Dubai. Can I get the other one, please? Now, if we be able to make that into more simpler type of analysis, we have the blockchain, which quite similar as it is a series of nodes of data that can be embedded with different type of models. If you press the button, please. That would give us different type of models that be fed into with the variable data into it, and to be able to give us more assessment. At the end of the day, blockchain can, because it's non-biased, it's transparent, so you can different type of models for artificial intelligence assessment that you've got different ones I'm putting over here, but at least 5 of them. We can have even more, and the more data you can put, the better output you can get. We already implemented this in organizations in different parts of the world, in Africa, in Zambia, and other specific project related to deals with communities with water and water scarcity. Even in the Gabon basin in Africa, we worked with 3-4 countries on combating desertification. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry for the presentation problem,
No
but
worries.
we did
That's
it.
okay.
So I will stop sharing. Right. So thank you very much for enlightening this discussion with the blockchain and AI-driven systems. Of course, I believe in technology, and they are very much the tools that would offer transformative potential to enhance, transparency, traceability, and accountability in combating desertification. These technologies can empower even stakeholders and ensure more efficient and equitable land management practices. So thank you very much for your time here. So we will move to the panel discussion now, and I will invite our co-chair, James, to speak few words, and then we will invite Dr. Pallavi to speak her few things because she needs to go. So we will have to invite Pallavi first.
Well, thank you very much, everyone, for coming here today. And it's fantastic to have my esteemed colleagues here as well. And I'm very pleased and very privileged, I would say, to be accompanied by such well-accomplished and intelligent colleagues. When we're talking about governance, governance, in my opinion, is the ability to coherently implement policy from a top-down and bottom-up standpoint. And that is predicated on SDG 16 and 17. 16 being strong institutions, 17 being partnerships for the goals. And what's important is that you can have the right partners, but do you have the right partnerships? In other words, is the relationship structured in a way that is effective for long-term effectiveness and sustainability? Now, we're very lucky, I think, in 2024 to be witnessing some fantastic examples of public-private philanthropic partnerships that help govern desertification and land degradation neutrality in an effective fashion. And it's everything from the Green Climate Fund, which is doing fantastic work financing the greening of regions like the Sahel. It's everything like the 1 Billion Trees Initiative in Mongolia, where the government is partnering with local civil society and Indigenous people to have localized knowledge that informs top-down implementation. And it also involves organizations like L'Oreal even have a fund that actually is combating desertification in parts of the world that have not previously had access to adequate capital. So now even the private sector, through their ESG and CSR initiatives, are being effective actors in combating desertification. And those are just some examples out of many I can list and think about. In particular, we have to understand sustainable development and therefore its implementation in the context of desertification mitigation as a matter of social, environmental, and economic outcomes. And the way I think about desertification and combating it is through what's known as the wedding cake model for sustainable development goals. The wedding cake model basically is where on the bottom, it's a configurative wedding cake. Bottom, you have environmental SDGs. The next rung up is sort of a smaller ring, which is the social SDGs. And then above that is the economic sustainable development goals. And the implication being that social and economic outcomes are predicated on good environmental outcomes and that they are interdependent. But what's important in the context of governance in particular is that SDG 16 and 17 serve as a spine that goes down the middle of the wedding cake and is what holds together the coherent implementation of social, economic, and environmental SDGs, particularly in the context of combating desertification. Now, what's important to keep in mind is that we have to make sure when we implement governance in combating desertification, we consider policy coherence for sustainable development, PCSD, which is maximizing synergies between the sustainable development goals and minimizing trade-offs. Now, trade-offs will always be there, there will always be some form of a trade-off, but we have to minimize trade-offs as much as we can and maximize synergies between the SDGs where we can as well. And so in the context of desertification, some fantastic examples I've witnessed to actually really have good PCSD is, for example, in the Sahel region, they actually use indigenous knowledge to create bunds that actually help slow down irrigation of water and therefore land erosion. And by using the bunds in the local land counter erosion initiatives, they actually incorporate indigenous knowledge and perspectives, which in turn is giving power and giving decision making to local decision makers and empowering social well-being and empowerment as much as it is giving good environmental outcomes as well. And that can also be saying, we can also see this in the context of the Green Climate Fund, which is financing initiatives like the Great Green Wall of Africa, where we're getting local input and therefore local co-benefits and partnerships, SDG 17, to implement sustainable development in the context of combating desertification. So here is just some basic examples we can look at that give us a clear indication of how we can achieve good governance, as in good SDG 16 and 17, in the context of combating desertification, and make sure we can synergize bottom-up insights that are more localized and give opportunities to local populations, particularly Indigenous people, but also have effective top-down implementation as well that cooperates in effective partnership, not just a partner, but in effective partnership with local actors on the ground and synergize, therefore, top-down and bottom-up implementation and governance of combating desertification. And these are some of the most notable examples I've seen in my time dealing with sustainable development policy. So I'll now refer to my panelist who's on Zoom. It's Pallavi, is that correct?
Yes. So thank you very much, James. Yeah, Dr. Pallavi Saxena has been working in role of land degradation and desertification and in causing respiratory health alignment. So I would like to ask her, how does land degradation contribute to desertification? And what are the key factors accelerating this process? And the other question I would like to ask you is, what are the most effective policies and mitigation measures that can be implemented to reduce the risk of respiratory diseases caused by atmosphere, dust, and air pollutants from desertification? Please. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Renuka, and thank you, James, for giving me the floor. I would like to share my presentation, 7 to 8 minutes, and I would like to summarize all the answers that you have questioned me about the land degradation, desertification, respiratory ailments, and some of the mitigation measures. So I'm sharing the slide. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, it is.
So today I will discuss about the land degradation and desertification role in impacting the human health and what are the possible measures which are being there to mitigate the desertification. So as some of the speakers has told about the desertification basics. So desertification is actually a land degradation which has been common in arid and semi-arid and subhumid areas. And it results from many of the factors like climatic variations and human activities. So there are many arid, semi-arid, and subhumid areas together with hyper-arid areas that constitute dry lands, and it is home to about 3 million people. So the basic difference between the desertification and the land degradation is not process-based, but it is purely geographical. And although land degradation can occur anywhere across the world, but when it occurs in the dry land, then it is considered as a desertification. So this is a standard definition as given by the IPCC in the report of 2019. So as you see in the figure that desertification is mainly being responsible for reducing the primary production and nutrient cycling. It will be caused due to if there is a high soil erosion and due to various climatic factors, and it will lead to a number of biodiversity loss. If we see the maps, then desertification affected areas are mostly China, Central Asia, parts of Africa. So these are the regions which are majorly being affected by the desertification. So this is the IPCC report 2019 chapter 3, and there we can see that how the geographical distribution of the dry lands that are being based on the aridity index, that is AI, is being based. And this you can see that about 70% of the dry land areas are located in Africa and Asia. And the major source areas of a sandstorm, that is a dust potential map of the world in the second figure, which occur due to desertification, are in North Africa, Middle East, and Central Asia. And it extending all the way from the tropical and subtropical deserts through the Middle East and through the Great Indian Desert and the mid-latitude deserts of Central Asia, China, and Mongolia. So basically, there are several factors which are being affecting the desertification. So mostly it is being governed by overgrazing and then followed by deforestation, agriculture mismanagement, and overexploitation. So desertification has many impacts, and the impacts can be direct, the impacts can be indirect. So it can produce the vegetation change like decline in cover and change in terrestrial carbon stocks. And it can lead to the atmospheric CO2, and it will lead to the sand and dust aerosol problem. And the sand and dust aerosol can produce the radiation absorption and the indirect impacts like cloud effects. So there are socio-economic impacts also with regard to the desertification, because there are many pressures that are being coming from climate change, and desertification will diminish opportunities for reducing poverty, enhancing food and nutritional security, empowering women, reducing disease burden, and improving access to water and sanitation. So if we go to the SDG thing and socioeconomic impact, then desertification is embedded in SDG 15 and climate change is under SDG 30. So if we see the nature of the sand and the dust storms in South Asian region, this is the recent chapter which has been published in our Springer book. So that is basically upon sand and dust storm. Then there is a distribution of SDS belt, that is a dust storm belts in South Asia, which occur due to the problem of their desertification. And it is mostly in the Sistan Basin in southeastern of Iran and southwestern Afghanistan, areas of southeastern of Iran, Baluchistan in Pakistan, the Thar Desert of Rajasthan in western India, and the plains of Afghan Turkestan and the Registan area of Uzbekistan. So but the dust originated from these areas and it is being transported to Central Asia, south over Arabian Sea, and east over South Asian region. This is a recent paper that is being published on the dust storms that has been affecting the northern India quality. And this is from the Thar Desert dust. Then how the dust storms are been affecting the air quality over the northern India. This has been published in Natural Hazards. And there we can have analyzed upon the DCMD, that is a total dust column. And with the help of it, we are able to analyze that what is the impact of the AOD, that is the aerosol optical depth, and the PM 2.5 concentrations that are mostly during the time of summer season, mostly in the May month. And on the 15th and 16th of the May 2018, the dust storm impact is more as compared to the other regions. So as the Renuka said, that what are the impacts of desertification or desert dust on the human health? So this is in a nutshell, that it will cause many of the diseases like stroke, meningitis, then cardiovascular disease like heart failure, hypertension, and it can also affect the reproductive organs like pregnancy outcomes, sperm production, skin allergies. It will cause COPD, bronchitis, pneumonia. And there are, as you know, that the particulate matter and the dust particles are in different size of the particles, that is in microns. So basically it is been affecting the alluvial region and the trancobronchial region of the respiratory system. So if we go to the pathological mechanism of desert dust on human respiratory and immune system, then the desert dust has a capacity to cause damage in alveolar walls and bronchial epithelial cells through a direct physical effect, and influence on oxidative stress and release of pre-inflammatory cytokinins in the respiratory epithelial cells, and it can damage DNA and cause deterioration in pulmonary function. Now, the second figure is very special because there is a disease which is called as meningitis and which is very common in Africa. And it is an infection, which is a thin lining that surrounds the brain and spinal cord. So this epidemic disease is mainly caused by bacterium Neisseria, and humans carries and transmit this bacteria through respiratory droplets or throat secretion. So meningitis here I am focusing because it has been associated with the dry climatic condition, and it is very common where the desertification and the desert dust is there. So this is the ongoing threat for the population of African meningitis belt. That is a region characterized by highest incidence rates worldwide. So these are some of the sustainable ways to combat the desertification. That is the second question asked by Renuka and the desert dust. We can have more and more wetlands. We can have more and more afforestation, and we can have check dams. We can reduce the erosion and sediment transport reduction. Then there should be the nature-based solution structures which can reduce the flood hazards and turbidity. And there can be the structures which can increase the infiltration and potential recharge to aquifers. Then we can, if we have the afforestation, then it will increase the deep soil sponges that is supported by the trees, and they can enable deeper, more plentiful roots and can hold the soil particles to avoid the soil erosion from them. So thank you very much for your very kind attention. If there are any more questions, then I'm happy to take it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Pallavi. You have given a very good understanding how this land degradation drives desertification, and then highlighting the urgency of addressing key accelerating factors like deforestation as well, and implementing these targeted policies, and especially working towards mitigating respiratory health risk will and linked to the dust and pollutants. I think we have got a very good understanding. So thank you very much for being with us in spite of your so much, busy schedule, and good luck for your presentation, next presentation where you are presenting. Thank you. So now I would invite Dr. Shyam. Is Dr. Shyam with us?
Hi.
All right, thank you very much. So Dr. Shyam, I've already introduced you. I don't know whether you heard that before or not. But however, you work on, mainly with government agency, building pre-established networks and capabilities, and you have great agility and impact as well, which you have already mentioned we have mentioned in your bio. So 2 questions for you, Dr. Shyam. What strategies can governments at international and national, subnational levels adopt to work cohesively and effectively address the challenges of desertification? And the second one is, how can government agency overcome institutional silos and policy boundaries to foster better collaboration in combating desertification? And how can they integrate indigenous knowledge and practices into their governance strategies? Thank you. Over to you.
Great. Yeah. Can I present something? What are the 2 questions
Sure.
you have?
You can share your PowerPoint.
Yeah. 1 second. I'm just opening it up. Yes. So it's all about. Great. Thank you, Dr. Renuka. Yeah. Hi, my name is Shyam Kumar Katta. Dr. Renuka ji has already introduced me. Thank you so much for that. This is very important that we are raising our voices on desertifications, what's happening across the globe. I just send you a text in the group, and I'm reporting from the place near Himalayas. I'm in Nepal right now for a business discussions. So driving governance solutions, is something which is important, and we are talking. And a special thanks to Dr. Renuka ji and the team who was involved into this. So I would be very brief on a couple of things, what is happening across. If you look at this theory, it's called as the change of the theory. We call it as climate change as one big issue. Then agriculture systems are getting affected. Consumption is increasing because of low nutrition. Therefore, famine is there on the land. So how are we gonna look this at is something I'll be talking about it. What are the main causes? We need to look at the main cause sector, why it's happening. Okay, one is the severity basically, and the reasons behind that. Land is being taken off. Mining industrializations are becoming a challenge. People are switching to agriculture while doing deforestation. Excess water is being utilized. Population is growing. Wildlife, fire, human fire accidents these are some biggest causes for the challenge which we are speaking about. And if you look at very clearly, what's happening is the severity is damaging the wildlife, natural resources we are killing, we are damaging the biodiversity, agriculture is completely shifting due to monsoon, and of course environment is getting disturbed. One of the major reasons are why the shift is happening, why people are trying to cause it is humans are migrating due to heavy floods. Wherever they're living now, there are floods or the soil has been contaminated. So they're finding for a new place. So therefore they're trying to migrate to different lands where they're trying to deforest the lands and trying to destroy the biodiversity. So those are some kind of things which are happening on the present in the situation. So we call it something locally led, globally connected. It's very, very clear indication. Everyone is speaking about this. So what can happen is here, it should be the policies which government needs to make, the community centric policies should be in place. It has to have shared resources. Resources should be shared between different institutions and the communities. We need to come up with new coordinated strategies. We need to build effective partnerships on the ground. Okay, data sharing mechanisms need to come into place. Engage communities as the front warriors, the front liners, where we can mitigate the solutions. Real-time actions need to be taken. How government needs to play key role on these things is something very important. I emphasize on locally led, globally connected. When we speak about communities play a very critical role on the ground, and government needs to stay connected with the communities, and the process should be very easy. So I also would like to take one more. So how we can overcome these kind of coalitions with government partnerships is yes, we need to form coalitions, involve indigenous groups, recognize, integrate, need to give gratifications to them. One important thing is we need to build trust in this journey. Okay, that's how the ecology can sustain. Okay, I have taken a couple of pictures I wanted to show you now. These pictures have been taken today from my mind. Here, if you look at the land there, right, it was lake. It's all mountains. Now you see the constructions coming in, the lake is slowly getting diminished. Probably if we come to this place in next 5 years, the lake right now it will become half of it again. So that's how people are getting migrated. So I think it's important government to come up policies that what is that they're trying to build, how they're trying to use the water bodies or the forests, not how we are protecting the biodiversity. I'll stop here with this slogan. Humans change the climate. Humans played a very critical role in changing the nature. Now it's time for humans to change it back. We need to change for climate. Humans need to change for climates. Policies need to change for climate. Governments needs to work together towards biodiversity. So I would like to stop here and take if you have any questions. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think you are in a place, Nepal, and so you can talk proudly about community engagement. They have plenty of examples of community engagement there. So yeah, and thank you for sharing some knowledge on real-time actions that, and I like this word, real-time actions that are locally led and globally focused. And this is crucial, for tackling desertification through cohesive and inclusive strategies. And of course, breaking silos, aligning policies, and integrating indigenous knowledge should ensure our impactful governance here and would be sustainable models. So thank you for sharing your knowledge. I would like to now invite, because of the lack of time, our last but not least panelist, Dr. Saida Mehar. She is specific expertise and resource, works into this area of specific expertise and resources required by government agencies to tackle different aspects of desertification. And therefore, I would pose her two questions. How can government mobilize and leverage finance more effectively to govern desertification while ensuring sustainable outcomes? And the second one is, what strategies can government adopt to strengthen in-house transdisciplinary capabilities for understanding and addressing the complex system where desertification occurs? Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Can I share the screen, Doctor?
Yes, please.
Yes. Is my screen visible?
Yes, if you want to go to PowerPoint mode, I'm in slideshow. But we are okay with this also if you wanted to go ahead. Ah, yeah, perfect.
Respected dignitaries, dear colleagues, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Dr. Renuka and Mr. James, for giving this great opportunity to represent in this COP16. So today I'm here to represent regarding this desertification, how to combat the desertification. First, I would like to start up with the introduction for this desertification. To combat, according to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, which is recognized as one of the countries most affected by desertification, and which has also been demonstrated an unwavering commitment to combating this environmental challenge. So the nation has also been putting various efforts, and it has also been projected and showcased with the numerous initiatives. On this behalf, I would like to welcome. So here, under the patronage of His Royal Highness Mohammed bin Salman, has been initiated the various initiatives. So under this, the cornerstone of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's green ambitions, out of which there are various initiatives. So under that, first initiative is about the Saudi Green Initiative, the Riyadh Green Project, and the Middle East Green Initiatives. So these initiatives has been created a various important effect. So I would like to say regarding the Saudi Green Initiative, so which is working as an entities for the various entities and as well as with the organizations across the kingdom for amplifying the existing climate actions and to create an opportunities for the new initiatives. So this initiative has been leading us in charge and restoring the Saudi Arabia's with the natural greenery. So actually with the figures which has been now, it has been transformed like according to the land rehabilitation. So that is about 975 hectares of land has been like so far it has been developed to combat this desertification. And through which it is also bridging a gap between the public and the private sector sustainability efforts to identify the various opportunities and also along with the collaboration and the various innovation which is also being projected. So the second initiative that is about the greening Saudi. So under the patronage of His Royal Highness Mohammed bin Salman has been initiated this greening the Saudi. So according to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, so this initiative, so far it has been planted, that is 10 billion trees has been, so far it has been planted, and it is enormously like spreading across, that is with the mass scale of afforestation program and rehabilitation of about 40 million hectares of land. So it is trying to combat this millions of hectares of land and making to improve the air quality and reducing the sandstorms and also to combat with this desertification with the lower temperatures in the adjacent areas. So to finance this, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has come up with the Green Financing Framework, so which has been established in the year 2021 with the Green Bond Principles. So according to this Green Bond Principles, which has been established under the Green Financing Framework, so from the Ministry of Finance, and through which an amount equivalent to the net proceeds of any green bond, which is also known as sukuk in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, under the green financing framework, and it is allocated to finance new or refinancing existing projects or the expenditures, particularly in the form of part or full payment, which qualify under the eligible of green projects. So here you can see the green bond principles project category. So where it has been expected around like until they reach the vision 2030. So currently the total projected protected areas are about over 20% it has been expected, and the remaining 30% is expected in the future decades. So the second question, which like you had been asked, so regarding the Ministry of Environment, Water, Agriculture, and His Excellency Abdul Rahman Al Fadli, so where the government is taking up the initiatives for listing, for highlighting, as well as highlighted in the Saudi Arabia, based upon the comprehensive approaches to address the various issues for the land degradation as well as for the desertification. So which it is also emphasizing on implementing the various initiatives, and also for the global issue which is affecting for food insecurity, high food prices, climate change, as well as for the environmental risk factors. So with this, His Excellency also emphasized on various initiatives to attract the private sector investments and as well as for the land rehabilitations. So one of the prime importance, which is emphasizing here, protecting land and water is the key priority for Saudi Arabia. So last but not the least, so in this context, Kingdom has also been launched the Middle East Green Initiative to foster regional collaboration to increase the land vegetation and to decrease the land degradation. So one of the factor here to monitor the land desertification is through this factor. So here, that is how like we can monitor the amount in order to not how to combat and how to make best utilize from the social and economic factors. So this we can make our awareness among our students, and by providing a platform to understand this particular thing in order to how to curb and how to secure the degradation, land degradation and desertification to combat about. So with this, I conclude my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. This line, protecting land and water is key priority for Saudi Arabia, is very, very strong, like it shows, it gives out the message of the kingdom's commitment to sustainability leadership. So thank you very much for sharing that. And land restoration projects, these all are very important. They play a vital role in bridging the gap between private and public finance, which you mentioned, and fostering collaboration and shared accountability to drive sustainable outcomes. So thank you very much for your powerful presentation. Thank you. As we have very little time now left, I went through the chat and I saw one question. So I will read out that question, or maybe whoever has read can open their mic and speak the question if they wish. I think it is Jennifer.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I was just asking a question.
Yes, please go on.
So my question for sir is like, what are the key points that we can highlight to the students? Like ma'am told just now, students are very much required for the sustainable projects. So how sir will give us the key points to overcome this increase in infrastructure? How we can create that awareness among the public?
The question is for James.
I think Dr. Sham. So,
Shyam, okay.
Yeah.
Is Shyam here? I believe he has left.
okay.
Let me
Thank you.
just
No,
check.
not a problem. Yeah.
No. Would Saida be able to answer?
Yes, doctor, sorry. Can I just have the question, please?
The question is, Dr. Sham was comparing with the infrastructure that are rapidly growing in near the lake area or ocean area where the quantity of the water is being getting reduced. So what are the key points that we can pass on to our next generation so that they are well aware of how to handle such situations?
Okay, may I take this point then? Shaida, would you like to answer? Okay, I believe, if our infrastructure projects are blended with nature-based solutions, then that would make difference because that would decrease the impact on the environment. And also including the community in the design stage, what they want, how will they be able to manage, because they know their area best. And so I think with the nature-based solution and disciplinary design point of view, including community, I think we will be able to lessen those impacts.
Doctor, I would like to add on one point along with your.
Yes, please go on.
Yes, with this, where they can create an awareness, and students are also like from the university, from the college, they can initiate with the projects. So where students can get awareness about how to, like benefit with those projects. And from the graduate and to the master's level students, when they start, like working on this particular model, so they will be like having more idea like how to make best utilize about it. So that can be one of the solutions.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Yes,
Thank you,
we
ma'am.
have a question or some comment here on the floor. Please take your
Question.
Okay, please go on.
Yes, thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm Nasruddin Adamhan Gatalla from University of Khartoum, Sudan. My question is for Dr. Saida Mihar. Thank you for the presentation, and I really like the end road simulators. It's like something that is interesting. Could you please elaborate a little bit on how can we use that one in simulating the desertifications in terms of combating or predicting its distribution? Thank you.
Yes, Saida, did you hear the question?
Sorry, doctor, because here there is some glitches, so which is I cannot hear the question exactly. Can you just please repeat it? Or you can write it in the chat box.
No, sure, I will read it. Repeat it. My question is in Android simulator. So, how does we need you to elaborate a little bit in how can we use it in the desertification aspect in terms of prediction or combating the desertification? Did you get it?
Okay.
Yes.
He's asking, can I repeat? Okay, you get it. Please.
Yes, regarding the simulation for the end road, because we had registered under the climate literacy training, so which we had applied in our courses, which is known as the strategic management courses. So which we happened to get the trainings from the expertise from the climate literacy, and they used to, explain us how to go about and all that. And the same, like it is also applied in our classes and when we are taking the lectures. So you can also like just go to the website and you can enroll about it, and they will provide you the trainings, and same you can implement in your classes as
Okay, thank you very much. I can maybe share her email and you can further discuss that point. Thank you very much for interesting question.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I think it is just the time and I think we will need to close the session. Thank you very much, all of you, to be present here and online especially. Thank you very much.
That was great.
Great.
It was fantastic. Ran on time as
Yeah.
well, which is good.
Yes, exactly. Nice time.
It's always the big concern.
Why we are here? So I left it 1 second. I need to
Okay.
close this one.
At the bottom.